So today I'm going to show you how to build hopefulness and increase happiness. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name's L Conroy. Welcome to Happy Stuff and Fluff, a channel for women over 50 who are getting happy and growing younger. Welcome to all our new subscribers on Happy Stuff and Fluff. It's great to have you here. And I want to introduce all of you. In fact, I don't know why I haven't done this before. These are, you can see here, my Conroy women. The Conroy women are the women I talk about in Stitch Your Own Silver Linings, but it doesn't matter whether you've read the book or not. Well, it does, but hey. So, my sister Pat, my mum in the middle, and my lovely daughter Charlotte. They are the Conroy women who consistently give me my strength. So today, because of things we've been talking about recently, things that have been happening to you or not happening to you, as the case may be in terms of your goals, and things that have been happening to me too, I wanted to talk about hope. Incidentally, I am going to talk about Charlotte towards the end of the video. I got into trouble a little bit because I waited till the end of the last video to let you know that Charlotte was back in hospital, and some of you missed it, so I'm sorry about that. But for the rest of you, if you just want to listen to what I have to say about building hope, I'm going to do that now, and then I'll tell you where we are with Charlotte towards the end. So, hope then is one of the 5 top strengths that we need to build if we are to increase our happiness levels. And I'll leave some videos here to links to some of the videos that we've talked about strengths, and to the free strengths test if you haven't yet taken that. I'll leave video links to that. But just for now, whilst you're here, these are the top 5 strengths in terms of happiness. Okay, remember we talked about these, and we have actually talked about gratitude, but I'm sure we'll be talking about that again at some point in the future. So today we're talking about hope. So there's loads and loads of research that goes into great depth about what hope is, how it differs from, let's say, optimism, and all of that is accessible, but I don't want to get too academic about this, because really all I want to do today is to tell you what I mean by it and give you a few tips on how to build it. Okay, so for me, hope is that belief that something or some situation can change for the better, that the future of a particular situation can change for the better. And if you are a person who is generally hopeful in that way, then I would call you an optimistic person in general. Okay, so I'm talking about hope as being something attached to a situation, a person, a thing or something that you believe can change for the better. So you'll see, given the discussions that we've had recently about specifically on the what would you do video, and on your the goal setting videos, how can we change those situations for the better? And that's what I'm talking about. So here we go. I'm going to kick straight into how we can build or regain a little bit of hopefulness in these situations. So let's talk about, for example, your goal setting. Some of you, and we're going to talk about exercise, but here I just want to talk about the fact that some of you said, thank you so much for doing that, leaving the comment to tell us that you have not. You started to do something toward your goal, but then let it fall by the wayside. Okay, what I would say to you is chunk it down. If you become overwhelmed by something, then you do lose hope that you can achieve it and change a particular thing for the better. So if for you that was to do a little bit more exercise, or even just move more, and I think that's a more realistic way of looking at this, move more, just move more. And that could be, as I've said in the comments box, putting on your shoes and walking more. You can do that. You can do that. You can walk up the steps. You may not want to, but this is where you've got to ask yourself, how much do you want it? We'll be talking about that again too. Just move. a few steps more. Chunk things down into smaller steps, baby steps. And once you've walked a little bit more, walked down the street instead of, I don't know, getting on the bus, or up a few steps instead of taking the lift, once you've done that and survived, that's going to give you hope that you can achieve the next step. So it's about not getting yourself overwhelmed by something, but bringing it down to a level that you know you can achieve, and having hope to achieve the next step. So that's the first thing. Whatever it is that might be causing you overwhelm and a sense of hopelessness, chunk it down into baby steps and take little steps of change. And sometimes those small steps are the ones that make the greatest difference. That's the first thing. A concrete exercise for you to do. Now, you can either stop the video now or do this later, but do it, please. If you want to do it now, go get yourself a pen and paper. I'll wait for you. Okay, so all I want you to do is to spend 10 minutes, and if you can do this once a week, it's going to make a huge difference to you. Think about the whole of your life and the situation you're in at the moment, and then I want you to think about your life in 5 years' time, and think about all the things that you want for yourself now. Imagine that in that 5 years' time you've achieved all those things. So you've achieved your exercise goals, you've achieved your weight loss goals, you've achieved your working goals, your family goals. You have become the person that you are aiming to become. You are that person. You've got 5 years to achieve that. But in 5 years, I come knocking on your door and I say, "Hi, it's Christine from Happy Stuff and Fluff. How are you doing? Tell me what's been happening to you." Start writing. Write down and tell me all the things that you have achieved. Who you are as a person, how you feel, how it's made you feel that you've achieved all of these things. Really go to town here. Use your imagination. Don't stop writing until you've written everything you possibly can. Okay, do that now. Stop me and come back to me. Don't do it now if you're driving. Okay, it's called the Best Possible Selves exercise. It's a positive psychology exercise. It's brilliant to do. Got to think about it, visualise it, and then write it all down. And try to revisit that best possible self once a week. I'm telling you now, hope levels will go through the roof. It will give you motivation to achieve the goals that we're talking about. Keep it in mind, because that best possible self is the why. That's what you're trying to achieve, and it's going to motivate you. Okay, so that's another tip. Gosh, you're getting loads today. Remember we talked about Ryan Niemiec when we talked about strengths, his VIA website. Well, he's written a book a while ago now called Positive Psychology at the Movies, and this is one of my tactics, I suppose you would call it. It isn't distraction. I will watch a movie or read a book or something like that, but choose wisely. This is, remember, we're building hope here. One of the films he recommends is The Shawshank Redemption. So if you need a shot of hope, watch that film. There's another film he talks about called Eternity and a Day. Those are two films that you can watch that will help to make you feel more hopeful. He also recommends a song. He recommended one song which, oddly enough, is called Look for the Silver Lining, and that's the one that I suppose I ought to be recommending to you, but I'm not going to. Not that particular one, despite the fact that it's talking about looking for a silver lining. Instead, my personal preference would be to listen to Sam Cooke, Our Change Is Gonna Come. Listen to those two songs. So that's it for now. Break things down into small baby steps. Do the best possible selves exercise. Watch The Shawshank Redemption, or Eternity in a Day, or any other film that gives you that boost of hopefulness. You'll know what they are. Watch them again. And listen to the music of Sam Cooke, A Change Is Gonna Come. Those things either all at once or spread them out and keep coming back to them. Certainly do the best selves exercise at least once a week, just for 10 minutes, and that will increase your hopefulness. Okay, so unfortunately, Charlotte's in a bit of a bad place at the moment. She has been diagnosed with lymphoma, and she's just started a course of treatment for that. She's in hospital, which is, as I said to you before, it is a specialist cancer hospital. She's just 15 minutes drive away from me, and in terms of my own hope and strength and resilience, I do these things to give me hope. I'm not going to cut. Not going to cut. You help me too. Living in the moment. Smelling the roses. Cliches, I know. But it's the small moments of pleasure, small and often, every day, that increases our hopefulness and resilience. I'll keep you informed on Charlotte, of course I will, and just remember, increase your happiness levels, guys, because life is really too short to live it any other way than as happy as you can possibly be. That's why I started this channel, and it's why I'm going to keep going regardless of what happens to me and mine. Yeah, okay, I'll be back. Until then, remember, I know it might not look like it, but on the Happy Stuff and Fluff we are getting happy and growing younger. Sorry, Mr. Floyd. See you soon.